Hello, it's the Normal Player Guide. Hey, today's video is the top 20 most helpful STR units in the game. Okay, so I've already done the tech and the AGL. And of course, I do this every single year just before the anniversaries, just so we can do a year on year comparison. So, here are the rules. So, it is not the most powerful, nor is it a power ranking. It is strictly the most helpful and the most useful. Now, it's not all LR heavy, and there are some free to play units in this. And this will be units that both veteran players and newbie players will be able to come together for an understanding. If veteran players have used these and used these reliably in the past, then you know that it's great. And also, these newer accounts can actually appreciate just how far you can stretch. Now, of course, we'll be talking like easy A's onwards, right? So, of course, that is something that newer accounts will have to grind towards. There is no doubt. That being said, some of these were pretty solid without the easy A's, but nonetheless, this will be a ranking for the most helpful with the easy A's. Okay, so I have last year's video and I've got it paused on there. Now, there'll be some similarities between, right? You'll notice that there'll be quite a number of the same people. Now, people will have dropped on and dropped off only because of, like, again, easy A's or brand new people on recent content and all that stuff that has come into play. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, coming in at number 16 to 20 we have Fat Boo, we have Xeno Goku, we have Rakuman Guldo, we have Gotenks, and we have LR Broly. Now, LR Broly, he was at number one, right? Well, not number one, but he was in the top 8 class tier. Couldn't get any better, right? He's in the most helpful. And he's had a hard drop. And he has had his easy A since then. In fact, he might have had his easy A now. But, like, the only real problem for this guy is he's dropped off a lot. He still is incredible, right? He still has, or is it Nike against a hybrid? Is it pure out? Oh no, against a pure Saiyans. It might even be against the likes of like a hybrid Saiyan as well. And he's super effective against all types, against the Goku family. So you gain 5 key when there is a pure or hybrid Saiyans, super effective against all types and guaranteed to hit when there's a Goku family enemy. So yeah, okay, so if you rock him in like, well, let's see, full power movie boss target Goku and the infinite history or like fight and legend events, right? Any or like pure Saiyans, resurrected warriors, right? Any of these, you could rock him. He's guaranteed to hit. So in the final phase, he will not be able to dodge. Admittedly, it's only like a 15-20% chance, but super effective, which will deal out just a little bit more damage. And of course, always guaranteed to hit. And he's never going to struggle for key against a pure or hybrid Saiyan. Pretty nutty. As well, his super attack, when you're still guaranteed the additional, you still get additional defense. But of course, he now gets 30% on either. Of course, his 12 key is still the AoE. He still, by the way, is king in a tournament. World tournament, doesn't matter what team you have, you slap him as the guest and he totally clears the field. Yes, AGL units would struggle, but yes. The only real reason he's gone down a lot is probably because, I mean, he does have at 55% some decent defense, right? Coming in at 11,000. That's not too bad. And with one dude, pretty decent. And he has fantastic attack. There's no doubt that this guy can be set up right, but that's the thing. You got to set him up right. There are still some pretty powerful people. You've still got some Brolys on here, right? Like this, Super Saiyan Goku, you got Blue Goku. Hell, the new anniversary units are actually sharing quite a lot of power in there. You'll struggle to get the likes of like Berserker, sure, but like same lineage, same warrior race as well. That's pretty great. He does have a key link in there. It is really great, but he does have key 5 against this. Otherwise, there's no key in his passive. That being said, he has dropped off a little bit in terms of his power. Again, he may have come out of his shell a little bit after his EZA, but he's right back in there, I'm afraid. So that's why. Gotenks. So Gotenks is pretty great. So I gotta show Gotenks a little bit of love. He's an older one by now, right? So let me just bring him up. So his EZA was quite a while ago, but he still has a lot of use for when it comes to Super Battle Road, and even Extreme Super Battle Road for Fusion and even Youth and Connected Hope. Let's see. Gifted Warriors, Entrusted Will, Special Pose, Heavenly Events, like all these with Extreme Super Battle Roads, and all these that will have them in the future. He's really good, right? Because I mean, he has started turn stats. He's brilliant with two or more enemies, so he's built definitely around Super Battle Road. He is, I mean, 8,500. I mean, one dupe nearly 10. I mean, people probably have him Rainbow by now, right? Which is pretty great. But more importantly, what's his super attack has a 30% chance to stun, so that's pretty great. So I mean, you will see that hit often. He works well on so many teams. You got like key links. Is that a key? No, that's attack. But you got like a key link here. So you got attack and key link. So he's not going to struggle. He's on fantastic teams. Fusion is pretty glass cannon, right? Gifted warriors, heavenly events, special pose, and like, look at all the people he's useful with. He's a beast of a unit, right? So is this unit. Still, these two are still fantastic. These two, if you run these two together, they have like 70% damage reduction. Seriously, that an easy inbound for these two, pretty nutty. Like props and support, some mega hype units on what you're gonna have like you're gonna have time limit fusion, if fuse fighters, right? Seriously, they're a huge prop. Vegeto's, right? He's just had his easy A. So yeah, go tanks when you're talking about youth, right? Going to be looking pretty great. And he's even on hybrid Saiyans, right? So again, like there are a few people who could truly appreciate his power. So again, with his fantastic links, his brilliance of team, he was more made around Super Battle Road. He is truly useful, and people will probably have this guy more often than not, and he's very common in the loot pool. So next we have Raccoon and Guldo. Right, Raccoon and Guldo, they are one of the better ones we've seen. Now, you kind of got to run them alongside another Ginyu unit, but that's not strictly the worst. Let me just bring them up. That is not strictly... Is that not how you spell? Let me just spell Guldo. Can't be that many Guldos. Here we go. Oh, it's Raccoon. Right, okay. So these have a high chance of guarding, but they guarantee the guard if there's another Ginyu. Now, again, we check out his teams. So he is on Planet Namek Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, Terrifying Conquerors, and Space Traveling Warriors, and Special Pose, right? So all of them, right? Who's he going to link up well with? Well, again, Ginyu Rocks that is the lead for Space Traveling Warriors, Dragon Balls, no, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors, and Planet Namek Saga. So there's a 200% team. Let's see, yeah, Ginyu Force, sure. Now, with one of them in mind, you'll be able to perform a great tank for the likes of like Jace, Turles, Cooler. I mean, legitimately, you could possibly run it. You've just got to make sure that they are linked up with another one. Otherwise, you still have guard. It is only a high chance, but fine. And you do get bonus defense, so that's even cool. But they also build up as well, which is pretty nice. And of course, not only do they raise for the turn, but they also lower, greatly lower. That's a 30% buff for a couple of turns. So they do a lot. Seriously, they do insane. They also seal, right? So they also seal the attacked enemy. So that's once every turn going in, you'll find that. So again, that's just for free. Just hit somebody, and that one is sealed. That's pretty crazy. They do an awful lot, and you'll find out that these are definitely worth being on here. Let's see, Fat Boo. So Fat Boo is brilliant. So again, you'll probably find him as support for like the tournament because he's an orb changer, but he's an orb changer nonetheless. He probably is due an easy A at some point. Let's see here. If I just type in Boo, can't be too many knocking around. Nah, there's not. He is, here we go, Margin Boo, the fat one. So I mean, like he's an orb changer, right? And he gets this per STR key sphere, but it's still chance, still possible. Yeah, it's only a 15% chance to stun, which is one of the worst, which means that this will probably go to medium when he actually has his easy A. But legitimately, right? In terms of his links and the insane amount of teams, right? Orb changer, right? You could help out this boo, you could help out this boo, so you can get a smidge of healing, right? Let's see, you could help out a lot of other boos in terms of the links, so that's pretty cool. But again, World Tournament's probably the best that he's at because you can rock him on full power, like Physical Broly's team of full power, and that kind of does the job. But in terms of like all these others, you can still legitimately run him. You might want to hog a lot of the orbs, but depending on how it works, he can be hugely useful. He's still an AoE, and there's always that chance that he could stun them, making him quite valuable. And of course, Xeno Goku. So Xeno Goku, so they made him a little better. So he has damage reduction for like 15% for the first few turns, and then he has additional damage reduction per crossover, right, on the team. So prior to that, it was just about crossover that gave him damage reduction, but they've given him a little bit even without, and they made him better. He still guards and he still raises defense on his super attack, so he's still quite a fantastic defensive unit. Preferably you want to rock him with as many crossover as you can, just to build up that damage reduction. So that is something. But nonetheless, he does guard, right? He does guard and he still raises defense, so that is pretty great. So all of these are very useful. By no means terrible, but they've dropped off. So in terms of like Fat Boo, Xeno Goku, Gotenks, and Broly, let's see where they looked at like last year. So like Gotenks might be a new addition. So for some reason I didn't put Gotenks on this, but it looks like I've reallocated a few people. Boo has been demoted, so that's fine. Broly's been heavily demoted. Very sorry, but it's the way that things go. Let's see. Xeno Goku's been demoted, and Gotenks is totally new. And Xeno, seriously, is Xeno Goku not in this? Did I not have him on this? This might have been prior to his. Oh no, he is here, and he's been demoted. Yeah. Okay, so that's the reason why. So now we have 11 to 15. So what are we talking about? We're talking about pretty decent units that you'll use them in pretty much all the teams going. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these except for possibly maybe try and avoid them in the most difficult content, which means that you just wouldn't run them in difficult content. Starting with Gamma 1. Now, I know, people are going to say, what? He's going to be top end, but we're talking like the most helpful, the most useful. And honestly, he's not that fantastic, right? Yes, he gives a little bit of attack, and he gives a little bit of key. He does guard, right? Okay, so that's his biggest thing going for him. But his leader skill sucks, right? I mean, he's powerful, no doubt, but you got to set up the team around him. He's limited on the teams. That being said, he's part of the defense that you get, part of the brilliant defense you can have alongside Gamma 2. But again, you kind of got to run him with Gamma 2. There can only be one, and here he is. So like, he does guard. It's only for 4 turns, but he guards. Like, he has okay start of turn stats, right? His super attack does give you by 30%. Coming in at 55%, 11,000, right? People will have pulled him on the 8th anniversary. He is on the banner. So congratulations to all those who don't. And if you don't, he's in the coin shop for 400 coins. So even if you do all your summons and if you don't have him, you can always still get him. Like, movie heroes or artificial life forms is absolutely terrible. But then again, it's here or there. As for movie heroes, right, okay, so the problem with movie heroes is it's androids or Gamma 2, right? And neither of them, I mean, look what you've got. Android Assault, Cold Judgment, Red Ribbon Army. You're not going to get that with any of these hero units. So that makes him totally useless maybe as a floater, because he does guard, right? There is that, and he does reduce damage of each attack received. So again, as a floater, you could use him to kind of like absorb a few blows. So that's brilliant, right? He does give key and defense, sure. So that is pretty great. Yeah, so that's fine. So I mean, he is pretty useful as a standalone. This is probably one of the best things going for him. I mean, he can do a lot, but I mean, like, movie heroes is useless. Worthy rivals and accelerated battle will be useless to him. Artificial life forms, now we're talking. But again, right, okay, so we got the new Super 17. Yeah, we got right, the other Android that's on here. I don't think the other GT17 is on here, right? So that's kind of worthless to him, because like you kind of need to rock this person alongside him. So I mean, yeah, okay, MVP, sure, might be able to get superheroes out of it as well, right? But again, this unit is wonky in terms of the teams he's on and purely exists as a floater. That being said, as I said, guard has built up damage reduction, gives defense, right? Makes him a pretty solid floater on the teams he is on, but you may struggle for links, right? He might have a few. Does he have a few key links? He may legitimately have a. So he's got shocking speed. Wow. Okay, shocking speed. So Let's see. Yeah, you would run it, but do you have shocking speed? You do indeed have shocking speed. Wow. Okay, so what are you going to run him on? Superheroes and androids? Yeah, fine. Let's see. Pycon. He does have shocking speed and cold judgment, so you can rock him on movie heroes and worthy rivals. Fair enough, but again, this is a Vegeta-based team, and this is far too stacked to have any of these in, even if he is a great support. I mean, he is fantastic, but again, it's too heavily stacked. So I mean, like shocking speed seems to be a thing that you can get. Would this be a good one? Yeah, Android Assault, shocking speed, right? Okay, pretty decent. Hell, works well with STR, but again, super and extreme. So that kind of odds and ends. So he's a bit wonky, right? Does a lot, but only for himself, realistically. But that's the reason why. He is new to this as well, because he is totally new, because by then there wasn't even, I mean, the movie hadn't even come out by then, or even in, probably maybe working on it. So this is all new. So next we have Videl. Then we have like God Goku. Then we have Vegito Blue. And then we have LR First Form Frieza. So he's had his Easy A since. He's had his Easy A since. So that's pretty great. Videl, I think, has been out since then, and Frieza is pretty great. In terms of who they are, God Goku's a new addition because of his Easy A. Let's see. First form, Frieza wasn't on here. Oh, no, he was. Now he's been promoted. Let's see. Videl is the same. Let's see. Who else is on here? No, that's basically it. So Vidal stays the same. Frieza's been promoted. That's pretty great. So the new ones, so God Goku and Vegito Blue. Seriously, was Vegito Blue not on here? No, but he has had his Easy A. Both of them have. So in the likes of like Vegito Blue, so his super attack effect is probably what helps out because his 18 key greatly raises attack and defense. Right? He has a little bit more at the start of turn. He's totally free to play and can help out in tremendous teams. So talking like time limit, final jump, fuse fighters, right? It's pretty, and Patara, hell, even Realm of Gods, right? You can do quite a lot. So he is a fantastic free-to-play unit, one of the best, and his Easy A truly is great. Obviously, he stacks on his 12 key as well, and his 18 key has been made a little bit better. God Goku. God Goku is actually truly phenomenal, I must admit. I was close to putting him into the coveted A tier. Here he is. But I just feel like there's another unit coming up which kind of pips into the post. It is an LR, but it still pips into the post. He is a fantastically old unit, coming in at 2016. So we're talking like 7, nearly 8 years. So that's ridiculous. Hell, he came out almost as old as the game. Pretty mad. So nice all types lead, but most importantly for him, I mean, this is crazy, right? Because he has ridiculously low start of turn stats. That's ridiculous. 55%. But guess what? It doesn't matter, right? He gets, this is tremendous. This greatly raises stats, but for 3 turns, on top of which he still has this on top of this. So he has like 200% plus 50 from his super attack effect, right? He gets this with every attack performed, so he's actually getting 260%, and every attack received is building up damage reduction per turn. This is activated per turn, it seems, so it's a bit of an odd one, right? But yeah, so he's actually getting 260%, plus he's getting damage reduction. The dude is absolutely crazy. And if you get an additional, by God, it's 50% on that. Dude goes from like, seriously, he has like 80k start of turn at Rainbow. I've done my video on him. Seriously, test out the video. I did a video at Rainbow, pretty much max links. Came in at 80k defense. And as soon as he supered, we were up to like 4 million and we are up to like 300k. And he was building up to 30% damage reduction, right? And then his next attack, I mean, he was keeping up with par with AGL, Easy God Goku, who's capable of hitting like 9 million quite quickly. And this guy was hitting like 7 million with like 450k defense and 30% damage reduction. I mean, dude's insane, right? The only reason, and honestly, it's a petty reason, but the only reason he's down here is because there'll be better God Gokus, but more importantly, there is currently a better God Goku, not a standalone God Goku, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I could even just move him up into A tier. He is that good. Again, it's all Easy A's around, right? Um, Prior to his Easy A, he was worthless. But in terms of like movie heroes, absolutely, he can totally tank and totally go to blows with the toughest. We're talking like Metal Cooler Core, we're talking like Cell Max. He can do it. Build up his damage reduction. This keep it on rotation. So this is fully built up. The dude's insane, right? I mean, he also builds per attack, which is pretty nutty, like Legendary Existence, Battle of Fate, Turtle School, Power Wishes, like all these fantastically weird teams. He's brilliant on, and he works well with Pure Saiyans. He works well on, let's see, Goku Family, Pure Saiyans, Realm of Gods, Legendary Existence, right? I mean, just look at the caliber. It's pretty insane. Oh, free to play. That's a free to play unit. That's quite nice. This free to play, but you got to grind him up, right? So yeah, free to play unit, that'd be quite great. So he's got an easy farmable SA. But other than that, he is truly fantastic. So let's see, right? Freezer. So Freezer's good. So Freezer's he keeps on par with this. So I think so. Like some people say, like, oh, you've dropped Broly, but you've kept Freezer the same. Well, Broly's dropped off in terms of what he can do. He can still hit hard, but he's mainly just he is mainly just going to be World Tournament. Now, Freezer, on the other hand, well, he's aging really, really well. One of the best. I mean, he's an older free to play unit coming in at when was his EZA? 2021. Right, so fair enough. He's a Prime Battle LR, right? Because of the caliber of people, unfortunately, his typing, his fantastic link set, he's kind of staying in the game. So I've done a video on this guy too, and he's pretty solid. He's capable of putting out like 7 million attack stats with 350 plus K defense without support, capable of supporting tremendous amount of teams on here. Works fantastically well with Extreme STR because hell, Extreme STR gets all the fun. We're talking like Space Traveling Warriors, Dragon Ball Seekers, Terrifying Conquerors, right? Transformation booster. What are we talking? LR cooler, this particular cooler. Coolizer's kind of okay. Full power LR freezers just had his easy A. This guy is reasonable. Right, it's pretty nutty. And when you talk about Wicked Bloodline is insane. We're talking like Metal Cooler, the other AGL Metal Cooler. All that this guy's pretty solid. Even him, he'll work out pretty well. And he has fantastic links. You got Thirst for Conquest and Big Bad Bosses. Dude, that's like 40% defense and attack. It's pretty nuts. Metamorphosis, that's 10% more, right? And then you're going to get Key and a nice attack, Key and nice attack. So again, completely relevant still. Yeah, it takes the most difficult event to take him down. Sure. He does need a super attack first. His 12 key does greatly raise, and his 18 key does greatly lower attack and defense. So when you're taking him into like Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road, Infinite History, hell, even Gods of Destruction, you can, when applicable for some of these, he can totally hold his own. Anything more than that, no, you'll probably find him to be, you'll probably find not to be great. As the against superclass enemies, yeah, brilliant. You'll find that as the key mechanic in first or third, which means that depending on how it works, you could use him as a floater, and he's still going to be fantastic, right? He helps on particularly on Inhuman Deeds, which is really, really nasty. There is a Fight and Legend event. Is it GT Goku? He has a mission. There's a mission related to Inhuman Deeds. Pretty gnarly. He doesn't really suffer. Yeah, in the int phase onwards, he can get hit hard. So, like a double 12 key super would be necessary because this would be useless, although he would hit crazy hard. Mainly just aim for this and probably an additional would keep him alive, but you can duck and dodge and dive and weave, right? So yeah, and then Videl. So we round out the top 11 to 20 with Videl. So Videl, let's have a look at this. So she is brilliant, but she's highly limited. But talk about a person who can hold her own. Now you think, well, is that not the same as Gamma One? Yeah, sure, but actually Videl is useful on way more, and she has a better leader skill, and she's useful on way more things. So she does an awful lot, way more. Defenders of Justice or Peppy Gals has a great amount of overlap, and we're talking like Earthlings is absolutely needed. It is a brutal extreme super battle road because of the caliber of people, and Margin Buu Saga. So yeah, there's a brilliant amount of overlay. So in terms of usable units, this is why she's great. I mean, look at you're going to use Tien. I mean, this Chi solid. This isn't. What have we got? Yeah, sure. You're going to use this Pan? Nope, not a chance. Are you going to use Great Saiyan Woman? Great Saiyan Girl, whatever she is? No, absolutely not. Yeah, okay. People are going to have LR Bulma, sure. This Krillin? No, absolutely not. Yeah, this Mai is legitimately decent for like Future Saga. When it comes to like Majin Buu Saga, maybe. I mean, like Ultimate Gohan's pretty decent. They will share Earthbred Defenders of Justice and Majin Buu, so that's pretty great. Yeah, Defenders of Justice could be pretty good. So she stacks attack and raises defense, but she does quite a lot. Now listen to this. So she has incredible start of turn effects, right? Start of turn stats. Coming at 55%, she's higher than most at over 10,000. So it's pretty nutty. So she has a 50% chance to dodge before being attacked. So let's see. She gets an additional 58% when attacking. Super effective. If she does do one dodge, she becomes super effective. That's pretty nuts, right? If she, when attacking, she gets 58% attack. If she happens to get hit, another 58% attack, and guarantees to launch an additional super attack as the first or second attacker. But she also has an additional 50% chance to dodge as the third attacker in a turn. So basically, in slot 3, she's immune because she just has like as best chance as best as ever anything can ever describe as. She has like 100% chance to dodge in slot 3. That's pretty nutty, right? So that's insane. That's on attack. So anyone who does like this group attack effects, right, is not that fine. That's the only limitation. But she dodges. She's super effective after she does one dodge, and then she has like unlimited. She has like 3 dodges all the way in slot 3, and she stacks attack, a little bit of defense, and she's getting more, and it's pretty ridiculous. For a unit that's just a couple of years old, she does pretty well. Yeah, her links are a real letdown because, like, money, champion strength, right? They are only related to. I think champion strength is also Roshi, but it's mainly Hercule, and money is strictly Videl and Hercule. And again, what did they give you? Okay, so yeah, level 10, you get a little bit of damage reduction, and oh hell, a hell of a lot of defense. It does contain some Bulma, of course. Yeah, she's pretty rich, but again, like look at these. Yeah, you're going to struggle to. I mean, no, you will struggle to use that, and especially champion strength. Right? Let's have a look at it. Champion strength. Yeah, it's just Hercule. I thought there'd be a Roshi on there, but it's not. Hey, Pamput's on there. That's pretty weird, right? Pamput, sure. But like, look at this. This is a useless link unless they do something else with it, right? Okay, so she is brilliant and she definitely holds her own. Now, of course, that rounds out 11 to 20. So now we are into the top 10. I told you this will be a long video, but hey, this is for the nerds, right? So this is the top 10 as you can see. Now, this will be in no particular order and we'll see how they work. So we got Super Trunks, he's like the Void Rage. We have Janemba, we have UI Goku, we have LR Vegito, Whis, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Super Vegeta, LR Cooler, Bardock, and LRB Pan. There is a lot of dodge, a lot of tanks, a lot of sealing, a lot of supports, guaranteed crits. I mean, what else can I say? So a lot of these need no introduction, which helps a lot in this video. But let's have a look. Let's say hello to LR Cooler. I will not bring him up. People know what he does. So he's on the 8th anniversary banner, and this will be a fantastic opportunity for people to pull him. Like I myself pulled 2 and 1, so that'll be fantastic. But people are going to walk away with a copy or 2 or more. So congratulations, but he is a beast. Now again, he's an LR, so I can't. The roster is pretty great, but there's no denying the sheer power this guy can bring. It's insane. He has a fantastic leader skill for transformation boost and Space Traveling Warriors, I think it is. Or is it Movie Boss? Anyway, something to do with Space Traveling Warriors. He just brings so much to the table, right? He stacks defense on his 12. Oh no, stacks attack on his 12 and raises defense per super on his 18. He has incredible key mechanics. He does multiple attacks, which have a brilliant chance to become a super attack. Does multiple attacks. Excuse me, can build up really, really quick. Turn one can be a bit underwhelming, maybe a 55% also in turn three could be underwhelming, but for sure past that, the dude's a monster. You want to spec him for crits, maybe a little bit of dodge, because these additionals are so well built in. The dude's going to be hitting like somewhere between 7 and 12 million, depending on how many dukes you do, pretty much fully built up. He is ridiculous. And yes, 8th anniversary will be a great summon chance for him. So people may not go for the new unit. They may just go purely for cooler, or they may summon for both, right? Who knows? So let's have a look. So another really hype unit on this is UI Goku. UI Goku has a 70% chance to dodge where applicable. His best friend is the AGL UI Goku, right? Also 70% chance to dodge. When we're talking Tournament of Power, Rep 7, both of them have extreme super battle roads, and it's bloody brutal, right? Because of the sheer caliber of people in there. It is a rough one. And you're up against like 443 or something like that. Having these 70% chances to dodge is insane. Now, this Goku is perhaps on the weaker side, but as you would expect, he gets key attack and defense of 7% and 1 key every time he dodges. So he has like a pretty abysmal start of turn stats, but he does build up. Now, depending on how much of a gambler you are, some people say he's cursed and has a 70% chance to get hit, but I can understand where you're coming from. Trust me, I've had ones where he's had like 5 hits and he's actually, he's hit 4 of the times, and you think, well, what the hell? There'll be a chance where you come off like 2 hits and you think, oh, chances are I'm going to dodge one, right? Now you take both hits, and super attacks kill this guy flat out, right? His super attack effect means that even AGL won't slow him down, but he does build up, so he's for the long run. His 70% chance to dodge is only for 7 turns. Past that, it's only 50% chance to dodge, but hopefully you've built up all 11 dodges that you need to build up the key attack and defense. But there's no doubt that if you pull him, you'll go, yes, I've now got dodge. So brilliant. So with that, so he's going to be fantastic. And do you know who else he can work well with, especially in the likes of Battlefield, as well with dodge, is Whis. Whis is brilliant, right? Whis is tremendous. In fact, Whis is so good, we got to bring him up. He has 70% chance to dodge, but this time it's flat out. But he has a really weird mechanic. It's not so much weird, but kind of broken. So he gets 50% defense per dodge every time. He has a 70% chance to dodge, and he's 50% defense per dodge. So his defense can go exponentially high. So, like, you can do, people have no itemed a lot of difficult events, mainly monotype extreme super battle road off this guy's back, because, that first hit or that first dodge is probably the most crucial, maybe two. But past that, his defense is usually good enough to withstand a few normals, but it's pretty great. He also not only lowers attack and defense and seals, so if you can't seal, you can usually do one or the other, right? He is able to recover HP if there's a Beerus included, which is pretty great. Which kind of means that he's kind of specced around Beerus. No doubt that he helps this guy's Easy A. He's an absolute monster after Whis is on here. Helps this guy and even helps this guy. And there's a few other links here and there to help a few people out. He has links like Connoisseur. Really, you kind of want to, because like that is specifically going to be a God's link, right? And he is kind of set up like Godly Power, Gentleman, that kind of deal, Shocking Speed. I mean, he works perfectly well with this kind of, you see, Godly Power, Connoisseur, Shocking Speed, even this guy, right? Same sort of deal, and even the tech one, right? So that's pretty great. And he has start of turn defense, but the fact that he has this, right, is pretty nuts. 70% chance to dodge and builds defense, and not just a small amount like 10 or 20%, 50% defense every time he dodges. Now it resets, so going in every turn, you start off with only 100%. So like every couple of attacks, you need to be like heart in your mouth kind of deal. But this guy is immense. Seriously, the dude's insane. He is on this. So UI Goku and Whis are on here, absolutely, no doubt. So it's fitting that they're in here. Now you'll probably find that most of these are actually the same. Gohan here has dropped off, by the way. Broly has been demoted quite a lot, and you'll notice Cooler has dropped off. This Cooler dropped off. He didn't have his Easy A, but he's been replaced with the other LR. Now, God Goku. So I need to touch on this then. So God Goku, I said, is A tier worthy, but I put him in B because I think he's been outclassed, and he's been outclassed by where is he? It's where is he? Oh, did I not have him on here? Oh, right. I thought I had him on here. He should have been outclassed by God Goku and Hit, who also probably deserved to be on here, which is pretty weird that I don't have him on. Okay, nonetheless, we'll quickly touch on to them. They're not on here, but I missed them off, but they do deserve to have a bit of a notice. That being said, if I'd have known that, I probably would have shoved them on an A tier. So I think this is the best God Goku going. It is an LR, granted, and it's a yellow coin summonal banner, but this unit is truly fantastic. Huge start of turn stats, 6 key right at the start, at your starts of turn. You get extra stats guaranteed to hit. AGL doesn't slow you down, and have a 50% chance to dodge as the second or first attacker in a turn. So, like as the second attacker in the turn makes that incredibly useful because as the first attacker is pointless. And then, of course, in slot 3, you gain 7 key, right? Pretty stupid. And you have an extra chance to do an additional super attack, of which your super attack, right, your 12 key, 50% chance to stun, and your 18 key greatly raises stats, 50% chance to stun. It's truly ridiculous, right? Because you'll chances are you will do an additional super attack, and you'll have like 50% chances to stun, and you'll do like a greatly raise and a standard raise. And they just have infinite key. In fact, additionals are the only way you see the 12 key. Is pretty nutty. I can't talk about too much because I missed them off on here, but sure, we'll just pretend they're here. So we're talking like, what do we have next? So Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Now, he needs no introduction, and he's very old. His Easy A is old. So what does he do? Well, even prior to his Easy A, he was still useful. So for the first, I think it's now 10 turns, was 7, you get 80% damage reduction. Now you also gain a little bit of start of turn stats. So that's pretty great. So he is a phenomenal tank. He also gains 120% to stats if the target enemy is stunned, which is probably not going to happen. His super attack effect is also giving you like a 30% chance to stun. Fine, but he doesn't do anything on his super attack. But nonetheless, he is a huge tank, and to be every player ever imaginable who would ever have this guy will go, yes, he's perfect. We're talking Worthy Rivals. We're talking Vegeta Family, Super Saiyan 3, crossover, right? The guy is going to be amazing on all of them purely as a tank. Just make sure his 10 turns are under, and which probably covers everything but stacking events, right? So we're talking. So that's covered. We've covered UI Goku. We've covered this particular guy LR Cooler. So who do we talk about now? Okay, let's go Super Trunks and Vegeta. So these two. So these two come from the Android Cell Saga, right? And they're pretty potent. It's pretty insane. So Super Trunks and Vegeta. So Super Trunks is absolutely underrated, and I keep saying that them and the physical one in particular as well is one of the reasons why. Hold on, is he under Trunks? He is. This one has a little bit more. But yeah, because he gains this. There is a physical one who has flat out 4 key 200% to stats and has the same super attack effect, which is still pretty powerful. But this guy, he has 100%, not 200, and he does build up the extra 100% per turn. right? So he does build it up, but he also has this. So the dude can have 300% at the start of turn. Coming in after his easy 55%, yeah, it's pretty underwhelming, but it doesn't matter, right? You get 300%. It's pretty nuts. And AGL doesn't slow you down. He still raises attack and defense on super attack, and he has a high chance of stunning the attacked enemy when there's a Vegeta on the team. That is absolutely plausible on pretty much every single one of these, except for maybe Saviors. Right? Yeah, Android Cell Saga, Future Saga. So like Future Saga, the best unit in the game, LR in Goku. Vegeta Trunks, Hybrid Saiyans. Well, okay, you won't find a Vegeta there. Vegeta Family, Rapid Growth, Full Power. Basically everything on this, except for maybe Earthbred Fighters, Hybrids, and Saviors. You won't find them on, right? But everything else, you're going to find a Vegeta. In particular, this Vegeta, right? Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, Royal Lineage, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Android Cell. I mean, look at the teams. Super STR they can rock on. Dude, it's insane. This Vegeta could be a nice one. This Vegeta's a nice one. So again, absolutely huge what this guy does. He is totally underrated. The fact that he has, dude, start of turn. I've got him at Rainbow, and I'm pretty sure start with most links activated because, like, Prepare for Battle gives you a little bit of attack and defense, but that's about it. So at that level 10, at this amount of stats, he's probably rocking 200k. And then he gets this. In fact, he might even be on slightly more than 200k. I know the physical one is. And this guy gets extra for the first 10 turns, right? That's pretty nuts. So again, the amount of times you will use this guy, and he can be a legitimate tank or just a fantastic floater. This just builds up just per turn, which is huge. The guy is immense. Now, Vegeta. So, Vegeta in particular, so I think he's called Super Vegeta. I believe he is here. So, this guy, I think the best thing going for him is his super attacks have guaranteed crits. Now, what's funny is he came out after the, was it 6th anniversary? I think it came out after like the 6th anniversary, maybe the 7th anniversary. Came out just after the 7th anniversary or something, and everyone was having like 50% chance to crit. No, it's this. Yeah, it came out about halfway into year 6. So he came out after the 6th anniversary where UI Goku and in Vegeta, they had a 50% chance to crit, and this dude pops out and he's just got guaranteed crits on Super, period, right? That is just insane. Not only that, but he stunned the attacked enemy super attack, right? So stunned enemies attacked by this character's super attack. So technically, this becomes a this. So it's guaranteed crits and guaranteed stuns. What the hell? And even if you can't stun the person, you still guarantee a crit. Why? What the hell? And of course, this is a big one, and this is a big one, right? It's pretty insane. So you do need to get additionals realistically, because like crits. So additionals and dodge, because like this will only proc once, but you would guarantee crits, which would be insane, and then this after receiving an attack. So this is his only weakness, but it's because it kind of depends on what it is. But he's insane. So like, what was a very difficult Super Battle Road or Extreme Super Battle Road was Pure Saiyans. So with that in mind, Pure Saiyans can be a hell of a lot easier because this guy's got like guaranteed crits, which is pretty insane. Worthy Rivals, Gifted Warriors, Heavenly Events, Mastered Evolution, all these which are pretty difficult. And look, he worked well with this. We've just seen all these Vegetas. They're all fantastic. These two are truly deserving to be on the top tier. So that's absolutely no doubt. We're coming to the final few. So Janemba God, after his easy A, he has a 30% chance to dodge. Now, every dodge builds it by 10%. So let's say you get lucky in the first attack's a dodge, it goes up to 40%. Dodge again, it goes up to 50%. And it builds and builds and builds, resets every turn, whilst guarding and has some start of turn stats. So legitimately fantastic. He still guards, and did he have start of turn stats prior to his easy A? Let me double check. It can't be that many numbers. Nope, it's just the one. So prior to his easy A, he might have just had attack. Yeah, he did, but he still guarded. But now he has 100% guards, and he has a 30% chance to attack, and it builds by 10%, which is pretty great. His super attack is the only real letdown, but that being said, for what he can do for like extreme STR, for what he can do for corroded body and mind and movie bosses, one of the toughest extreme super battle roads going, and kind of this because of the limited quality that you can have, limited category. I mean, like, he can help out so much. This guy's just had his EZA, pretty recent too, and works well with this guy, right? So truly, these are fantastic. And then let's see, we've got two left. So we have, let's start Bardock. So Bardock and Vegito. Vegito's easier to talk, right? So in the base form, of course, they have the additionals, they have the damage reduction. The dudes are pretty nutty, right? Whether they're 12 or 18 key, they get 30%. You could go for dodges because they kind of have damage reduction and additionals, maybe even crits. Probably kind of want to go crits. He has a very easy transformation, 4 turns and under 70% HP, which is pretty nice. You'll get that way easier than you think because a lot of events will take you down well under 70%. You get 50% heal, which is really, really nice. You do lose your damage reduction, but if you build them as crits, oh boy, do those crit counters for normals, they're absolutely insane. Now, super attacks will kill the guy, and in most difficult content, for example, Gods of Destruction onwards, he gets slaughtered. That being said, he does raise defense per super attack, and you can have additionals built in, but his crit counters are more the way to go. He does have a really broken effect of foreseeing enemy super attacks for 10 turns, and it's the only, and that is the reason why Gogeta got nerfed to 5. 10 turns is like the entire rest of the battle, and then some. It's pretty insane. He can help out in Infinite History. He can help out in Dokkan events, Super Battle Road, maybe Extreme Super Battle Road. Maybe pop an item because it's a shame that he loses his damage reduction. Because that's why Tech Gogeta is kind of supreme. He has a way easier transformation mechanic, but nonetheless. By the way, works well with Gogeta. Huge help to Patara, huge help to Final Trump and Margin Boot Saga. And lastly, but without any shadow of a doubt, brilliant, is Bardock. So Bardock, right. So Bardock is great. Bardock is a recent EZA and he's totally free to play. But he is one who is brilliant even without Bardock on the team. He does have damage reduction per, which means that on the extreme Super Battle Road for this team, he is 100% the MVP. Seriously, the final boss is AGL Freezer. AGL First Form Freezer. Just one. The dude's got like 70 million health. It's freaking insane. But this guy, even super attacks on Freezer, is pretty gnarly. That being said, he seals, and someone else, I think it's like Borgos or something. Oh no, Borgos. It guarantees a seal if they're stunned, and if the stun gets a crit or something like that. So, I think like Borgos does the stun, Shugesh does the seal, so they work together, and then this guy seals. And then you've also got the other one, which the other LR Summonable Bardock, which also seals. That being said, incredible start of turn defense. This is pretty nutty. So anyone who's an orb changer, I think it's Tech Bora. Which would also trigger this. So he has 10% damage reduction. That's just by himself. So that's pretty great. He would basically get 20% if you run someone else, which is pretty great. In terms of his best, I'm pretty sure he's the orb changer. Fash is pretty decent. Like all of these, they're turning out to be pretty decent, right? We've had some pretty bonkers EZA from the Super Saiyan Bardocks. We've got two Super Saiyans and a Super Saiyan 2. They can work out. You'll get key links out of it, not a problem. And they will be able to work on the Team Bardock as well. Yeah, you get a little bit of stats and you guarantee a seal, but mainly, right, he has great start of turn stats. He is, get him a bunch of orbs, and he has this. It is fair to say we talk about him at 100% because he's totally free to play, and the EZA just basically involves the Ginyu in these, so that's not very difficult to grind at all. So yeah, talking about 10,000, just under 10,000 defense, pretty decent attack. and yeah, has a pretty decent setup. Battlefield is where this guy can come into play because you can get him a few orbs to help out a little bit. Battlefield you can often seal, so he can be a really effective unit to help seal. And of course, he does have like Saint Lineage, he does have Prepared for Battle and Shattering the Limit, right? And he does help out with like Saint Warrior Race. And some people even have experienced fighters, so you can legitimately get like what these four links. That's not a problem. Yeah, pure Saint. So again, going into the Extreme Super Battle Road and such, get him a few orbs so he can tank, but he can also seal. When you're talking about pure Saiyans, maybe stick on anything else. Because even like the summonable Bardock, the LR physical, still counts towards his damage reduction. Team Bardock, sure. Low class warrior, absolutely. Storied figures, which is basically just Tapion, right? And these guys. Maybe not interested, Will, but like Goku family, sure. Space traveling warriors, yeah. So legitimately, he has a lot of huge use. So that's pretty decent. So again, this guy, despite being a free to play, is great. In fact, who do we have? So let's see. You're free to play. You're free to play. So we have two free to plays in the top tier. We have two LR free to plays in the B tier, and that's basically it, yes. And the rest are all pretty old. So there we go. Coming in at a very jazzy, tasty, pretty toasty 50-minute plus video. But yeah, that's it. You'll see a lot of comparison between that and last year, right? The top one hasn't really changed. Yeah, Vegeto's in here, Super Saiyan 3, Whis, UI, I mean, all the same. This must be where I was talking about. This must be the correlation between Goku and where I got slightly mixed up. So that's the reason why. So in essence, he technically has dropped off the grid altogether, but kind of been replaced by Goku. It's kind of what I'm going for. You could put either one in here, maybe as like an honorary guest. Would be truly useful. I guess being an LR, perhaps that's probably the reason why I didn't throw him in. Because again, trying not to be too LR heavy, and Goku is also just as useful on his own. Honestly, you could quite easily do this, and it's totally acceptable. But like all the rest, I'm pretty certain that's where they belong. So thank you very much for watching this incredibly long video. Thank you very much for reaching the end. If you did, let me know. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you and bye bye.